charge. Now have a look at this. ISIS-related training videos are there. ID manuals available. This is the incriminating documents that have been now recovered. ISIS propaganda speeches have also been found, not just digital trail but documentation. And connect that with the Bihar module, Sushant Sareen, with the Mission 2047. Maybe very, very lofty in terms of its thought process, saying 10% of Muslim support is all that we need to turn it all around in India. They don't have that. But look at the kind of outlining that they have done. Sushant Sareen.
Yeah, but Anand, you seem to forget that change and tectonic change in society is, you don't need 100% people. You need 10, 15, 20% very highly committed, radicalized, fanatical people to completely, bring something down, which is exactly what these guys were aiming at. There are jihadist groups who believe not even 10%, who believe in the 1% theory, that if you have just about 1% people in the right places, you can actually, wreak havoc wherever you want to. So there's no big deal in that. But Anand, something which Dr. Singh said, I think, why just talk about PFI and how blind eye has been turned because of politics to PFI? Why don't we talk about the entire Northeast and Bengal and the kind of demographic transition which has taken place because politicians out there wanted to cement their vote banks and actually encourage illegal migration, never imagining that it will completely change the demographics of so many districts.
Correct.
We allowed it to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it right now, right? One. Number two, there is this constant refrain from the apologists and the defenders of the PFI that, how can you link these people who went abroad with the PFI? The PFI didn't send them. There is a simple test to evaluate, that argument. What is it about the PFI that so many people of the PFI and not other... And there are innumerable Muslim organizations in this country. How is it that overwhelming majority of the people who have gone abroad for international jihadist causes are people from a particular organization, the PFI, and not from any of the other organizations, which might be very orthodox, very controversial in their own right. Right? They might actually be you could even call them communal organizations. And yet, people from those organizations, you have neither found their involvement in this kind of terrorist activity, you have not found their involvement in any kind of militant activity, you have not found them or anybody associated with those organizations making a beeline for, the ISIS or the Al-Qaeda or any of the other international terrorist groups. Why only PFI? So I think, this is a question which needs to be asked of these people who constantly point fingers that, you are hounding the PFI, that it's some kind of a social welfare organization, that it's some kind of, missionaries of charity kind of an organization. It is none of those things. It is a pure and simple jihadist outfit, albeit operating under a very, very secular sounding name. And this is the same model which you see in Jammu and Kashmir, where you will have, the anti-fascist front, or you will have, very secular sounding other names of these groups which have come up, newfangled groups which have come up. Nobody can say that these are Islamist jihadist groups. The same model is followed by the guys from the PFI. So no big deal in that, That's a standard operating procedure.
No, and do you get the sense, Vikram Singh ji, please take this forward, that they also seem to have perfected it over their progression or growth or even metamorphosis, if I may say, from SIMI to IM to PFI and its affiliate organizations? They seem to have perfected it. They seem to have taken what works everywhere in terms of subterfuge, and they have redefined how to work to subvert the system, using the system to subvert it.
Anandji, I would go a step further. I find that the footprints of the ISI and also of other intelligence agencies hostile to us have been excellent mentors to the PFI, to the CME and other such organizations. The standard operating procedure, as Sushant Shaheen has mentioned, is deception. Deception with a capital D, and also subterfuge. Falsehood, as Dr. Goebbels, but Dr. Goebbels is a far cry from what is happening today. They have perfected it. Repetition, internalization, it has become a second nature to them. And now they have perfected it in a manner that perhaps if there is a trophy for the biggest subterfuge and falsehood, as the lawyers come and they speak in our debates and come out with absolute white lies with so much of confidence, well, they really must have done extremely good hard practice at home, and there must be tutelage and tutoring and mentoring also how to produce falsehood and make it appear as a gospel truth. Here is the problem, is that perhaps their perfection is so good that the nation was taken for a ride, and whether willingly or unwillingly. When I say willingly, there were those who just slept over this and looked the other way, and there were those who were swept away by the smooth talk. But yes, I'm happy that Anand ji have raised this point, that this tutelage by international intelligence agencies, because this is exactly what the footprints of the ISI, duly tutored by national intelligence agencies of Turkey and other such rogue agencies, they have given them the absolute tutoring and mentoring that they are what they are today, and they are adept at befooling the local police and intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies.
Not just fooling them, but also very quietly getting into, embedding themselves into the system. So
Very true.
So
Very
using the system, like Abhijit was saying, that they have gotten into police, they've gotten into administration, they've gotten into the legal system, and they had fronts for all of this. They also used community and humanitarian and charitable causes to reach out to society. And when they come out absolutely benign. They are able to rein their emotions in, allowing it to manifest only when it needs to. Srijit Nair, why Kerala, and especially North Kerala?
Yeah, it is probably because of the political outfits that they have formed. The mainstream political parties do depend on communal votes here. I would say communal votes rather than religious votes. Basically, because they do have a principle of wooing such kinds of organizations.
No, is it that? See, because I'll tell you what, Islam came to India first from Trishur. Yeah. So it is 6th century itself, at the time of the Prophet itself. This influence, is it petrodollars, or is it the Salafi Wahhabi push? Is it